Matt, did you hear me say Wiener Schnitzel?
No. How are you?
Why are you doing that now?
We are live.
Alive. We did it.
We did it?
We did it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Just still not.
What happened last time?
Really good.
What happened?
Whose turn is it?
I don't know.
I know it's not mine because y'all got mad at
You
me.
were last time. Oh, it's Tara's turn.
Tara, tell them all about it.
You know what? Maybe we should have one of the kobolds come sit down and tell us what happened last week.
Do they
That was
know?
great.
Oh, I'm seeing shaking heads.
They got jobs to do.
You're welcome.
No, you're welcome. I would have watched it.
He's like,
Tonight on
I wasn't even
Boxed.
paying attention the last time you guys
Texo
had
gives a
an episode.
recap.
I'm too busy trying to kill you all.
See, it looks to me like it's Mike.
It does look like it's Mike.
I like Mike.
Be like Mike.
Mighty
Magic Mike.
Hate Godric, but Mike's pretty cool.
Mike. Magic Mike.
So,
Your jokes ain't funny anymore, man.
it was like, what? I heard. Trying to collect my thoughts at the same time. I feel under pressure. Everyone's staring. It's real great. So, last week on Adventures in Terrowyn.
I'm already fucking enthralled.
Last week on Adventures in Terrowyn. Alright.
This is some compelling fucking shit, dude. Storytelling 101. We take lessons.
You should get your own show.
Yeah.
There it is. That was the trap.
There's the second round. There's the second round.
Oh, shit.
It's too hot.
I'm sorry.
It's really warm
We're
inside the
fucked up.
studio.
All right. My draw to blank here.
Oh, do not read from your notes. Oh, man.
All I read is I fucked up in my youth.
That's what I would say.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Maybe if I ask some leading questions.
So,
Fuck.
It started in Greencrest.
We were.
yes, so we came down and we were having lunch where we were. No.
Yep. No,
Oh,
that's
man.
fine. That's a fine place
All right,
to start.
so check it out. Half the party was on their way back from a weird shopping run at the apothecary when they were stopped
Oh,
by...
there we go. They were stopped by fucking
Giles.
Giles Raiders.
Not that half the party.
Where they decided they wanted to ask for the big guy and know where Godric was, and they wanted to beat him. Or supposedly, they wanted to have Godric meet their leader. So things happened, things were said, people were doing some talking, and they all decided to gather back at the tavern. And Godric decided that he
It's a
wanted...
tavern because he forgot it's called Blue Fairy Inn.
No, fuck you. I remember Tilly's Inn, thank you very much.
Blue Fairy Inn.
Tilly's Blue Fairy.
Tilly's Blue Fairy Inn. Godric decided to wait to see if anyone was going to come in, to see if he would recognize
By
him.
himself, or were people with him?
There was 2 people with him.
Yep.
This is my story, shut up.
This is how Godric remembers it after drinking.
Godric was sitting down, everyone was... So I was sitting down, I was doing the talking, everyone was yapping, I was trying to get drunk, and then someone walks in, I've never seen him before. Apparently he was giant. He grabbed a chair and sat down in front of us. Apparently he recognized Locke, Katharina, me, and that's it, right?
Yep.
That was it. He recognized us. And apparently he was some piece of shit green dragon in disguise by the name of Riven that has killed people and was part of the problem in Rivergate. Very big problem.
Did he toss you? Or was it Mason?
I
Through
think,
Mason.
I don't remember. And Mason got yeeted. I got yeeted too, but I think that was by Kibira. But, so he did some threatening, he did an angry glare, Godric totally got scared out of his fucking mind. Ulthion wanted to spit in this gentleman's face, but the dragon decided to threaten the lives of the town, and we were kind of between, rock and a hard place. And so he leaves, we're all like, oh god, what are we gonna do, blah, 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 screaming out the door. So we go out and we look, and we see Riven breathing horrible gas, breath weapon everywhere, people die, terrible thing. We run out there and try to save them. Ulthion tries to throw water on it, very bad decision considering poison, everything goes worse. Godric runs inside to help people, he starts melting alive. It was very painful. Then in an act of desperation, Ulthion decides to contact his god and pick him up on speed dial. Definitely works. He decided to pick up, and a wind blew and carried everything away. And we saved the town, and unfortunately everyone was dead. And that is when Thane
No
comes.
one was dead. Well, there were like 4 people.
There was people died.
Yeah, but everyone kind of implies that it was all of them.
A lot of people died.
Yeah, that's correct.
My story, fuck you.
That's our story.
Fuck you. My story from my perspective. Thane shows up and says, "Oh shit! And while this is happening, Locke got scryed on. Someone decided to look at him and failed.
That happened way earlier.
I'm catching up, and Godric very scatterbrained. Leave me alone."
Yeah, don't mind them, Godric. He's just trying to hone in on your little storytelling,
And,
so he doesn't have to talk next week.
And Locke had someone spying on him. He went with Ulthion because Ulthion has little cloak that makes him not visible to like people looking. It's weird, but okay. We learned that Riven was the one doing the scrying, and he's toying with us. He wants to. He's interested in us for the orbs, of course, and hoping that we slip up and release the information of where they are. Thane comes in after the whole Riven flying away. We kind of tell Thane like, "Hey, why he's here. We totally fucked up, but we need to get out of here because he's looking." Thane offered tutelage to Locke and like, "Hey, I can help you hide from the eye. I may be able to give you a ring to help with that too. I can train you this. It's going to take like a week." So that's where we are here now. We walked into the portal of his little house thing. Godric decided to go sit and pout by the fire. Everyone else decided discussing what the next course of action was. And Godric's just looking at Flame, wanting to touch it. That's where we are.
Absolutely epic.
We did not.
Man.
You're looking at it tonight and you want to touch it?
Yes.
Man, a modern, that's like the modern equivalent of like the Iliad. Like,
Yeah.
Did you say the idiot?
The Iliad.
The Iliad?
It's the book that comes before the Odyssey.
The Iliad?
Mm-hmm.
Homer?
Like, oh
Never read
man.
those.
And not from The Simpsons.
Dude, I failed English and I know this.
Amazing. All right, so we're ready to play D&D. So,
D&D?
D&D.
By the way, the embarrassment.
Okay.
A lot hotter
Won't
here.
you come play D&D? Whoa, 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 won't you
You're hotter than you look.
come play D&D?
That's pretty good. That's a good mix.
all right, so
160.
when we exactly left off, Thane had proposed the idea that in order to deal with fixing your memories and get rid of the dark magic that was connected to Hecate and Katarina, he suggested that he knew of somebody who may be capable of doing it in a Noth.
That's black magic.
At which point Ulthion laughed and the episode ended.
Yep. Yeah, it was great. It happened just like that, dude. All right. So, yeah, we'll just pick up right there.
Enough is a dangerous place.
A bit curious that you would know someone there, though. Either way, I think that though we may be short on time, we do need the resources here. Perhaps we wait. You have some spells to learn, Locke?
If you're willing to show me. Yes.
Yeah, I can show you. For sure. I can show you the spells and give you the items that I described. The one ring of mind shielding and another trinket, and which should tell you whenever someone is scrying on the party.
Do we normally take this thing to a vote or just go along with it?
Well, a vote couldn't hurt. But I obviously think we should stay.
I look back towards the fire. Godric, we're going to vote on whether or not we should stay. Would you like to participate?
You see Godric's hand actually in the fire now. Yes. As he gets up and walks back to the party. Yes. I vote that we stay.
Trim?
Well, I don't really think we can be all that effective if we're just giving away what we're doing and our plans, our course of action. We won't even know all the bits and pieces. Like, it will never be safe to talk about anything, especially if we gain some kind of advantage on our various missions trying to overtake the cult of domination. So if it's going to help us be able to operate without just giving away everything we're doing, I say stay.
I rather like the idea of annoying Riven, making it so he can't scry on us anymore. Katarina, what do you think?
That's not funny.
Au contraire.
Hey, you know what? No one said I had to do a good job. Yeah, I think we
That's
should
fair.
stay.
Good point.
Katarina's voice has been affected by the smoke inhalation.
Right on.
I do have an idea on what we can do about the memories. I have an old contact, kind of taught me most of everything I know that I can follow up with. It might give me time to try and get that sorted out.
So we have, the week of downtime then?
Seems possibly that way, though we should probably stay sheltered the entire time.
Yeah, the most thing I would want to go do is go back in town and maybe visit the smith.
I think he's been visited enough. What would you need from him?
Speaking of Bristol, was he more forthcoming about what happened after I spoke to him?
Katarina.
Katarina would be the one to talk about it, wouldn't she?
Yeah, hi buddy.
Totally would.
Yeah, Trin was there.
Yeah, Katarina, tell them all about it.
Motherfuckers!
No, he didn't really buy my persona. He did most of the talking to you. Granted, he did give me this wonderful parting gift.
Hang on.
As I hold up my
I
sword
think
again.
we just had something interesting happen.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Hang on.
So,
I believe
well, what did Bristol
we
say?
might have had someone purchase legendary luck.
I don't even know what that one does.
It gives everyone a luck die.
I don't even know what that does.
It's a free reroll.
You know how luck works in the feats?
Yep.
Yeah, defeat luck that just...
No.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't.
Luck is the greatest thing ever. You get to reroll anything that's not a crit.
I don't really know how to do it either.
It's even better than...
How many times? Just one?
The feat gives you 3. Legendary luck gives everyone 1 luck.
So, Romby donated $40 to the tip panel, granting the party legendary luck.
Nice.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so much, Romby, you amazing mofo, you legend.
Yeah,
You
everything,
gentleman amongst gentlemen.
You
Yeah.
beast of men.
everything you guys and gals put into the channel, we reinvest right back into the channel. So
Yep.
we really do
For
appreciate
giveaways.
it. For giveaways, for costs of operation. So we really do appreciate you guys and gals help us keep this whole operation going.
Yep.
And super generous. We really appreciate it.
Anyway, so
All right.
Tell them all about it. So I went up, right, and I was trying to talk to the guy. And I used my little persona. It didn't really work on him. It's pretty perceptive, I guess. I don't know, it kind of worked on him, but not really. Anyway, so he wasn't really forthcoming. And then, of course, Miss Tagalong over here was standing right behind me. And then he tied us together pretty quick. I tried to deny it, but someone couldn't keep their mouth shut.
fair enough.
Katarina.
Thane had talked to Bristol, and he was calmed by the time we got there, and listened to reason, and he agreed to help us. Told us where she was, and that her name is Bridget, and she joined the Russian military, and once we had gotten what we needed, we were leaving, and he also gave us a sword to help us.
So he told you where to find her, or at least where he thinks she is.
And he also gave her this fancy dancy hammer. As I walk over to Katarina and yank on her back, trying to get the hammer out. Yeah, show him.
Okay. So Katarina pulls out the hammer, and what else did she get from him?
The hammer.
Just the hammer?
Yeah, it was the daughter's personal tools that was going to be used to help divine
Wasn't
or
there something else?
find her.
The ring.
Oh yeah, the ring to let us know, or that would let her know that we met with him. It would be like a sign that she can be quite high-spirited.
The ring will help convince Katarina or Bridget that we are to be trusted, and we spoke to her father. And the hammer is also to help with that, but both of them possibly could be used to spry on her as well, should we have the capability.
If I have the capability, I would simply need probably that hammer, and if Thane has any of the material components I could borrow. Do a
I
scrying
might
room
have
or
some of
something.
them.
So Katarina will hand the hammer off to Oltheon. This is what you need.
Crude. Looks like a smithing hammer.
That is exactly what it is.
Not surprising.
Smith's daughter. Smithing.
Yeah, apparently she's adopted too.
And where is she?
Katarina remembers.
Still having a little bit of a hard time trusting you, Thane.
Well, that's good. I didn't direct the question to you.
One second.
Where was she?
I think I wrote it down.
Midtime?
Yes. Last Bristol had heard she was in Midheim.
Makes sense. That's where Bristol originally is from before he moved to the Central Vale. We'd have connections there. So then the question comes, how do you plan on traveling there? It's a long way from here.
Locke says. We are not sure. We just found this out too, so if anyone has any ideas, I was going to suggest horseback.
I think we should do what we can, not use magic. It is like when a hawk hunts for prey. It looks for the bigger thing moving around. We should be smaller and not visible.
Well, that depends on your idea of visibility. Moving slowly in a group across the land, or moving instantly across the land instantly.
I'm still interested in finding more of these waystones, but I don't know how that would help us now. I would argue that teleportation would be the best method, however.
Do we have any real options as far as teleportation? Like, it's all nice in theory, but
I have a limited spell, but I'd have to have access to a specific room, a circle.
is there a circle in Midheim?
Not one that I know.
Not one that I'd want to travel through.
But
Midheim is home to the vampire aristocracy, last I read. They would not be the kind to simply let a teleportation circle or a waystone left unguarded.
unless we came out and brought the sun with us. I don't know, it's just an idea.
There's also the issue of magic is just handled very differently within the boundaries of the Bravoshan Empire. Much
That is
more
true.
strict. Often it's dangerous, it's viewed dangerously, especially someone like Katarina, who the very nature of her power is in fact fueled by a connection to the dark weave and to black magic.
So it's really starting to sound like our options are limited there, Locke. Might be stuck with the good old trusty conventional horse as I elbow Godric.
If teleportation was an option, you would have to settle for teleporting somewhere outside of the range of the vampire corruption and the black magic that wafts over the lands there. It could interrupt the teleportation spell, and terrible tragedy could befall all of you if you try to go too close.
Ugh.
And perhaps we get a wagon and some horses and just travel like the mundane folk do.
I know some great wagon songs.
Well, I'm even more sold.
Maybe we could earn some money, sign on as protection for the caravan.
We'd have to wait for a caravan heading to Bravardis, but
We have
It's not a bad idea.
we have enough money. We could probably just afford to get a wagon and horses.
Or, get this. We get the wagon and the horses and we ride, and then when we come upon a caravan, because we're going to be going way faster than any caravan would, we show up and we tell them, hey, yo, you want some protection? And of course, they're going to love us, so yeah. And then, if not, we can be like, hey, seen any bandits lately? And when they say, oh no, as a matter of fact, we haven't. And we'll say, you're welcome. Or if they do say they've seen bandits, then we're like, that's why you need some trained professionals like us.
We may need to modify the delivery a little bit, but I see merit in that.
Yeah, you gotta work every angle. It all depends on who you're talking to.
You might be able to find other sellswords and other people traveling east across Bravadis. Maybe not necessarily as far as you're going, but if you just go south from here to Breathorpe, you should be able to find individuals who are traveling.
Is Breathorpe as welcoming as Greencrest?
It's a much larger city.
Imagine that'd be for the better.
That wasn't a very direct answer. Oh, goodness.
Needless to say, as we get closer to Bravadis, we will want to conceal the arcane capabilities of our brethren.
Just to be on the safe side. That's all. Normally, it's not against the law to be a magic practitioner, especially if you're not from Bravadis. It's just the Church of Parathor, their Inquisition, and how everything, all magic is more or less state controlled, makes it difficult on magic users. Casts a lot of suspicion, especially traveling to the farthest reaches of the Empire and the very empty, sparse lands of Midheim, where the people are constantly under threat from ghouls and vampire spawn, the undead. They're on edge on a regular basis.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Better than them being totally down. They've still got some spirit if they're on edge.
What does your scry spell require?
I would need access to a silver-lined mirror, maybe a font of holy water. The problem isn't so much in finding the reflective surface, it's in finding one opulently built.
Magic is very specific, right? I'm sure we can find one at the very least along the way. Don't know. Do you have any jewelers in this little town?
Crystal ball would work too.
I wish I had, but I don't.
I have a crystal ball.
Well, perhaps you're willing. I could borrow its use for an afternoon.
I have heard of some seers using stuff like flames and fires to divine things. Right, Godric? Shaman from where you come from do anything like that?
No, they used bones.
But heard of that one too.
I have.
Just
I don't
remember,
know what's more reliable.
if she is in Midheim, again, the vampiric corruption, the miasma of dark magic that radiates from the lands outwards into Midheim, to Anheld and their southern borders, and so forth. Magic is just very strange. Teleportation magic is interrupted. Divine magic, the Inquisition, and clerics and paladins of Parathor often have a hard time just utilizing their magic in those lands as well. The power of black magic is so overwhelming, it changes the way the weave interacts. So a divination spell, I can only imagine if a teleportation spell can go awry, what a divination spell could do as well, if it goes awry.
Possibly, but even the darkest shadow can be banished by the slightest light.
What?
Sure.
What would this
I'm more
effect
worried
have?
about something that somebody you're looking for that somebody else looks back as well.
Would this have any effect on Katerina? Positive or negative, I wonder.
Maybe. She might find her powers accelerated or more effective, or she might feel not much of all. Depends on her strength of character.
Well, she's survived this long with Godric. She must be quite strong.
What is that supposed to mean?
Only that you can be difficult.
I simply meant that you attract powerful enemies.
That too.
That's what I meant.
You can be.
Either way, you're welcome to the Crystal Ball. You're welcome to stay here for a week. I will teach you the spells and get you the items. How you choose to use them is up to you. Unfortunately, I'm not capable of teleporting you anywhere. My suggestion is to make your way south along the road to Breathorpe and find yourself a caravan or others who are traveling. You would stand out as a lone group traveling along the road. It's easier to find, but as a much larger group, among many other faces, it'd probably be more difficult to discern exactly who you are.
Well, thank you. And thank you for letting us stay.
I can go into town with Godric while we're waiting, while we're preparing, I guess I should say, and see about getting us. If Greencrest has enough resources where they could relinquish some horses, maybe a small little cart, depending.
If you're doing that, perhaps I can send some money and you can pick something up for me.
Sure.
Farming and livestock town. I'm sure there's plenty of else.
What I need, they'll have.
High quality, maybe not.
What kind of thing?
Well, I have the holy water. I'll need some powdered silver and iron. Dig through my pouch for a little bit, separate out some coin. About this much should do. I hand you 100 gold pieces.
Vana should be able to provide that.
All right.
I mean, she's your only option, honestly.
Powdered silver. All right, yeah.
Powdered iron as well.
Powdered iron. Yeah, I totally put powdered iron.
I'll work on preparing
Ferrous dust.
a more complicated version of the scry. Perhaps I can circumvent some of that magic with enough due preparation.
The more preparation possible, the better the chances are that something... Yeah, I can't guarantee that anything will go wrong. I can't guarantee teleportation spell wouldn't work. Just what I know is that something about that vampire corruption, about the black magic and the way it works is strange. It's one of the many reasons that people don't travel through the Bravashan Empire any further east than Midheim or Aneld. There's only one or two safe passes to even circumvent the vampire aristocracy. Messages coming from further east than the King's Triumphs Mountains can be hard to come by. News is hard to come by.
I would agree that traveling south through Breathorpe is a good idea. Let's use this week to prepare, gather some intel, and then we can leave south after that.
Sounds good to me.
South then east.
South and east it is.
Well, I will leave you all to it then. I should go to my study and begin preparing some of the resources I'll need to teach you the new spells. Add them to your spell book. I'll find the crystal ball.
Okay.
After Thane leaves, I turn towards the group. There is one more option. We briefly discussed it, but we should consider modifying some of our memories.
We do have the time.
We'd simply need to pick a different location for the orbs.
I don't want anyone in my head again.
I understand, but do you want that more than you want the dragons to have the orbs?
I don't want anyone in my head again. Last time it did not turn so well.
Well, really, all we really need to do is pick. If we're going to have them moved, it doesn't matter if they're moved. If only one person knows where they were moved to and we alter their memory,
Another thing to think about
and they won't even necessarily know.
Another thing to think about is where they are are there for a reason.
Yeah, that we're doing some research and stuff and trying to
get them to work again and activate them or whatever.
Which means we shouldn't have them moved. We should just forget that we know where they are. I think it's a good idea. It's a simple. We can still know that we. I don't know.
I have some.
Probably best if we don't even know we had our memory modified.
Yeah, I have some abilities with that, but I don't know if it's often modifying everybody's memory. Like bringing a memory back, that's one thing. But changing everyone's memories, that's a lot. Especially if it's something that we've known for a while. If the memory is fresh, it's much more pliable. Or if it's been covered up, it's easier to pick the scab, if you will. But going back, and trying to alter what you already have known, and the memory is kind of set in there.
Just close the window.
Oh.
That's not the most easy thing to do. But, like I was saying, I do have someone who taught me a thing or two about what I know, and she might be able to help.
And who is this?
Her name's... don't laugh. Her name's Madame Ophelia.
I would laugh at that.
I don't know, some people... with the type of magics and work that she's found, and some people don't take it seriously. I think it scares some people, so they scoff it off. Other people overreact, think she's some sort of like witch or something, but
Oh, she's a soothsayer.
that's one way of putting it. She's something, all right.
Well,
But she can be a little difficult to track down, so she moves a lot.
then add it to the list of other things we're looking for. I think meeting one of your friends would be informative.
Yeah. She'll definitely have a lot to offer. She can be real critical sometimes. It's more of a me thing than a you thing. When you ever have like a mentor, higher up person that's just really freaking good that makes you feel like an idiot sometimes?
Oh,
And you feel like you're never really going to measure up?
Considering my mentor is a deity, I feel like I might be able to relate.
Yeah, so you get what I'm saying. We're vibing.
Yes.
I can't relate at all.
Anyway, I'll work on it. I'll see if I can turn anything up. Bork, bork in the chat. Bork, bork in the chat.
She has an opinion. She wants to be heard.
She thinks we should get a hold of Madame Ophelia as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, then that's at least 3 votes, Madame Ophelia.
But I can say this: she's trusted, she's reliable, and she's really good at what she does. It's a little disturbing, though.
I feel like just as you start to sell the idea of meeting her, you also are attempting to turn us away from it.
Have you dealt with a lot of soothsayers?
No, the only witches I've dealt with were dark elves.
Oh, this is going to be exciting. Can't wait for you to meet her.
I shall wait with bated breath. Well, I have a lot of research and praying to do, so I'll retire for now. If anybody needs me, I don't know, that spot in the garden looked alright.
Alright, sounds good. I walk over to Godric. Hey, Godric, how you feeling there, man?
I'm alright.
Your burns doing okay? You were pretty rough there for a second.
Yeah, they hurt. I still feel the stickiness of the breath weapon melting my flesh.
Yeah, that shit was crazy, right? how it sets like a weird acidy fire? I've never seen something like that before.
It's almost like honey,
Mm,
where it sits and just eats away.
so, I know we got some errands. I just wanted to let you know, don't feel like you gotta be the tough guy. You can rest up. We got a couple days.
I'm fine. The only thing hurt on me is my pride.
Because of some acid? Man, we're gonna run into stuff that's gonna be a challenge, man.
Not dragons.
What do you mean?
Dragons are what I am supposed to kill. Trent.
Oh, well, yeah. You've been talking nothing about it since we...
And it is not. Every time something is in the way. Whether it's the fucking Queen of Leor, whether it's them running, whether it's the fucking wizard of some tower that flings me through a portal, whether it's the fucking lives of the people in town.
Yeah, but do you want to... Example, the town, right? Do you want to kill the dragon at the expense of all the people in the town? You're gonna
Yes.
have your
Yes and no.
chance. Man,
Yes and
it's
no.
just it's a matter of time. You're gonna have your chance. You keep putting yourself in the right place at the right time, it's gonna happen. And
The problem is that it's happened multiple times, and something prevents me every time.
it's you know it's gonna be a challenge. You know it's not as easy as just if it was easy, everyone would be just dragon slayers. You see dragon slayers everywhere you went, but it is not easy. You are a specimen of a Goliath. You are freaking ridiculous, right? You're really strong, but I can promise you, if you keep trying, you are gonna have your chance. And have you killed a dragon before?
No.
You're starting off with freaking this Riven ancient acid breath looking freaking dude, right? It's ridiculous. That is talking about setting your goals high, like maybe like working up to it. Maybe it's like a momentum thing.
Trin,
You start off with a Drake.
do you want to know what the best part is? Riven is the stepping stone.
It's okay to fail or have setbacks.
Not when failure means death.
Are you dead?
No. As weird as it sounds, it is not my death that I'm worried about. It's
Whose
everyone
death are
else's.
you worried about?
Yours. Locke's. Yours. Katarina's. Kind of Otheon. I don't know him yet.
So you get. I don't know if you see me, but I'm kind of a big deal. I'm a big goblin. I can make my own decisions. I choose to put myself out there. I figured, with everything that's going on, it's worth it. We're all making the same decision you are. We're putting ourselves out there. Yeah, don't look down on us. We're not big and strong the same way you are, but we're there to help, and we're there to help you and each other. That's what this is all about.
I just don't know if I am strong enough to both kill the dragon and save my friends. I saw what a single breath weapon did to all of you. By some fucking miracle did we all make it through that.
Yeah.
And even when I walked through Riven's breath weapon, I felt it just eating away at my body, but I could have still gone more if I needed to. That is what I'm worried about, is everyone else might die.
So what? Do you want to go fight a dragon by yourself?
I don't know.
Do you feel like we're holding you back? Because we're here to support you.
I don't think you're holding me back at all. I think I am not strong enough to do both. That's what I see. It's fine, Trin. I'm not angry. I'm beyond that. I am... I hate it. I feel it's like having someone that you hate, that you wish you could punch, but something's preventing you, and they spit on you as they walk by, but you can't do anything. I want to break everything around me. I think I need a moment. I'm gonna get up and walk towards the garden.
Okay. Trin?
I'm gonna take a second, consider Godric and his feelings. What's the best thing I can do to help him? I guess I gotta call up that old friend. So I walk over and I grab my pack and I start casting message.
Okay.
And I write a message to Madame Ophelia.
Okay. What's the message say?
The message says...
Hey, a long time no hear from you.
Yeah. You never call, you never write.
Which one has the... Both of them have word limits, right? Message and sending?
I don't think sending does. It just has the limited range.
Yeah.
I never remember.
Message is the one, the lower level one.
Oh, then I cast send it, because I have send it. I cast the one that goes really far.
Really
Across time and space to anyone on the same plane.
Hmm.
And I am screwing up my... I know it's on my... I say... It's 25 words, right? Sending?
Yes.
Alright, so... What could you with equal kind?
Just make it within reason. I don't care. This isn't a critical role. I'm not going to count what number.
Well, I'm just trying to keep it
words.
close, because I can get wordy.
I know.
We know.
Yeah. Just keep it reasonable.
Dear Madam Ophelia, 'tis I, your long
This seems really
forgotten
formal.
friend, Gark Skid. I'm in a bind, and I need your help. I have 5 more. I'm still not good at you. I'm still not as good as you.
Still not.
I hyphenate a lot of shit. I'm still not good as you.
Can I use a run-on sentence?
I'm still not as good as you. I'm still not good as you.
Sure.
And so scribbles on the golden message and folds up magically in the envelope, and then it soars up with a little glitter and into non-existence.
Yep. And somewhere in the world, Madame Ophelia gets a "You got mail."
So
Right.
after I send that off, I go off to kind of kick my feet up and rest after the day.
Okay. Locke, what are you doing?
Well, right now, I am literally going through my spells. So, Locke will find a quiet place, sit and pull out the spell shard that he keeps around his neck, and then the strange, like, greenish blue light comes from it, and it kind of turns into a holographic sort of spell book, and I'm reading through the spells, waving them around, and trying to figure out what I can use to help defend us from, because I was pretty useless in that last bit. All I really seem to be able to do is destroy, not really help a whole lot, so I'm looking to see if I can fix that.
I was built to kill, not to love.
But I am a robot built only to destroy.
Yeah.
Disassemble?
And I'm coming to a revelation.
Killbot,
that,
kill.
Sorry, I used an inside joke and now the kobold's dying.
Yeah. Now. Yeah. The more Locke is finally looking at it a little deeper, but that's all I'm doing now.
So you're just gonna study your spell book?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Until Thane shows me where we're gonna practice, and then I might start practicing some things.
Okay. That brings me to Katarina.
I knew it was coming! I fucking knew it
I
was
should have
coming!
known.
I saw a building, I'm just like,
Hold on, I want to say something. You are doing a great job, Matt.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
oh, we're laughing because you're doing a good job, by the way.
No, we're laughing because you hate it, but
Yeah.
you're doing
Yeah,
it.
that's
Okay.
yeah. You're doing a great job.
That's true.
It's like someone has a cheese grater in the back of my head. Just do it. All right.
Welcome to the
You
end.
don't need to roleplay. Just tell me what Katarina's doing.
Katarina is going to go lay down and rest.
Sounds good.
It's been a long day.
Top tier roleplaying right there, man.
Yeah.
That
But
brings
you
me to
just
Ultium.
said I said you didn't need to. I didn't
Yeah.
say you couldn't.
I'm mostly just meditating and
I
praying.
know it's
in the
not fair,
garden.
but whatever.
I feel like I can't win. I'm disappointing someone no matter what I do.
As I'm
Swimming in the sea of disappointment.
You know what, Matt? You are good enough.
To disappoint.
good enough for everything, including disappointing people.
Thanks.
So what's Ultium doing? Out in the garden?
Yeah, I'm praying in the garden. I've got my eyes closed, but I can hear Godric's heavy footsteps towards me. Yes, this makes perfect sense. I said I was going to take some time to myself and find a little peace, and here you are.
You see, Godric's actually walking towards you, and he actually has his necklace off. As he's kind of looking at it, rubbing it almost like a worry stone. Ultium, I have a question. Less of a question and maybe needing your help. You said you speak with your wife over distances.
Yes, I am capable of that.
How does that work? Do you have to know the person? Can it be anybody? Or could you reach out for me if I needed you to talk to somebody for me?
Is there someone you'd like me to speak to?
Yes.
I could, but these magics are quite alarming to people who aren't expecting them, especially if they don't know me.
Mavith wouldn't be as shocked by it as most. He's the shaman of my tribe.
Did you say Mavith?
Mavith.
Okay, and this is your shaman?
Yes, his name is Mavith Wise Drifter. And he is the man who more or less raised me after my father left, and he is the shaman of my tribe. He's also one of the people who grafted the runes onto me, or was there for it.
Why are you now wanting to reach out to them?
2 reasons. 1, I know the truth of the runes. 2, I seek an audience with the elder of my tribe.
And this Mavith and the Elder are not the same?
No.
Okay.
Mavith leads my tribe through spiritual guidance. The elder is he leads up from the mountain.
And Mavith is a follower of Krom as well?
Yes, my whole tribe is.
So Mavith is basically doing the entire job by themselves.
I don't know the working relationship of the two, but I know that no big decision is made without the elder.
I don't envy you or your tribe's people, living these empty, almost meaningless lives without their god. It's like an absentee parent.
If anyone knows, it would be the elves. We have something in common.
I don't see how that's possible.
We're both trying to work back and gain the love of our gods.
Yes, but I think I might have some semblance of it as seen today.
I do as well. That's what these runes are. Maybe. I don't know anymore.
At least you have faith.
That is the story, anyway, that these runes were supposed to be from Grom, but now I don't even know anymore. Apparently a fucking soul of a dragon dwells in them.
Maybe you're not meant to understand it.
Well, either way, I want answers, and I seek help from the Elder. And so I was wondering if you could send a message for me.
I could, though whether or not you would get a reply is not ascertainable, as well as whether or not you'd like the reply, and I don't know how long the message would take to send. Over greater distances it can take longer.
Then it is by one. My tribe is near one of the mountains called Cloud Peak Mountain. We are below that. Send the message. Maveth will know of a way to reach me.
You know what? I will do it. You've come to me with humility and heart, and I will help. What is this message you need sent?
Do you need a detail of what he looks like, or just his name?
Just his name, maybe a description to focus on.
So he is about 7 foot tall. He has no hair on his face or his chin. He has blue eyes. He has his ears pierced and his lip pierced with bone. He wears a bunch of bones of different creatures on him that have different runes engraved on them, and he's covered in bear furs.
Safe to assume he's a Goliath, like you?
Yes, my whole tribe is Goliaths.
The specific heritage?
His heritage is that of Storm.
Storm Giant. Okay. Storm Giant Goliath. Maveth, lots of primitive bone, and he's short. Unless, are you tall for a Goliath?
Truthfully, I'm rather big for my people.
Even that you say that to older women.
It generally works.
Especially when you're paying them. They have to pretend like they're interested.
I am big both for my people and for my blood.
All right, well, I can try it now if you know what I need to say.
I've been thinking about it. That's what you were interrupting me when I was touching the fire.
Then,
The fire soothes me. It reminds me of home.
speaking of, you are quite injured. Would you like help with that?
Not yet. It's keeping me calm. The pain is dulling the rage.
Okay. Well then, how about this? I'll cast the spell, and you can...
Why is your spell so loud?
Don't think that was me. I think that was one of Thane's spells.
Lock.
Mine
It sounds like Locke.
tends to be much more subtle.
It's noise generally Locke wakes. The noise Locke makes when he's
That's why I
when
failed.
he's surprised.
Viper security system.
It'll have to be a short message. I'll concentrate and give you a signal, and then you can just tell me what you need to say, and I'll repeat it.
All right,
Are you ready?
I think so.
So I'm still sitting. Concentrate on Maveth, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Maveth.
Yes.
7 feet tall, Goliath, stone heritage, primitive clothing.
Storm, not stone.
Storm heritage, primitive clothing, blue eyes. And go.
This is Godric.
This is God. Well, this is not Godric, this is Ulthion.
Ah, shit.
I now know the truth of the runes, and I know what dwells within them.
Godric knows the truth of the runes and what dwells within them.
I need answers, and I seek counsel with the Elder.
You got 5, man.
Needs answers, seeking counsel, Elder.
Well done.
Much better than Trin. I just blame that on his goblin heritage, so.
He was writing a letter. He was just letting it be a letter. You know. It's okay, Trin.
Thank you.
I can't even perform an
Well.
alarm spell correctly, so.
That's about all we can do for now. When I hear a response, I'll let you know.
And the College of Eloquence.
Perhaps you should.
You're just gonna
Practice
hear a
the
big
magics a bit
old.
more.
You're just gonna hear a big old like. Nothing burger, dude. You know, or like some serious shoot down. Godric was banished.
He's dead. Go away.
He's dead. Go away.
A corpse
When
cannot
I hear
speak.
what I hear, I will let you know.
Hey, Jammer 1 got the lucky number, which was 4, right?
Jammer
Woo!
1.
We tried the fudge. It was really good.
Uh-huh.
Live on stream.
Yeah. Actually, I still have some.
It's fudge.
I'm not necessarily.
It's
I'm not
delicious.
necessarily like. The thing is Tiger's Blood is all right, but I'm not necessarily convinced that Tiger's Blood is what I would like the official flavor to be.
Hmm.
In my opinion,
I hear what you're saying.
it's all right.
It's good.
It's not.
It's
It's
good,
not
but-
like.
Is it legendary action?
Yeah.
Is it
I'll have
legendary?
to think
Is it
about
legendary fudge?
Maybe we could get it a little bit more citrusy or something. A little bit more sour punch to it.
I do
Maybe.
like sour.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Ooh, I now have a inspiration.
Woo, Godric got inspiration. Didn't Tech give Trin inspiration?
Yes, he did. And Trent has inspiration. He's so inspired. One might call it bardic inspiration.
Nice.
No, it's just regular.
I'm a bard. All my inspiration is bardic inspiration. Huzzah!
Fair enough. He's winning at D&D right now because of that.
And you're sure you don't want any healing? I'm quite good at it.
Fucking
Yes.
knew
I'll be heading
you were
into
gonna
town.
say that.
I'll be heading to town at some point,
Knew it.
and people will look at me weird.
Right, okay. Well, go ahead and sit down. Sometimes it can make you lightheaded.
Nice.
I just full plot.
Cause of the earthquakes.
Now tell him he's a good boy.
So I
Give him a dog
I
treat.
spin an ornate ring on my finger a little bit. Oh. Gift from my wife. And I place my hand with the ring on your arm.
You notice there's a missing chunk of flesh.
Yeah, it's gross, I know. Oh, great Seldarine, please heal my friend and bring him the comfort he needs so that he doesn't have to rely on these wounds for calmness. And I'll cast a Cure Wounds, which I don't need to roll for thanks to the ring. You get the maximum amount of healing for that.
Fancy.
Which is
That's
what,
real
2d4?
nice.
1d8? It's 1d8 plus 5?
You're asking the wrong fucking
I
player.
think it's 13 hit
Where are
points.
you right now?
I don't think I've ever played a cleric.
Mysterious room of my feet.
Yeah, never played a cleric.
Well, I'll look it up. Either way, that's the
Yeah.
thing that happens.
Just a normal cure wounds is a D8.
Yeah, 11. You get 11 hit points.
That was one of the missing pieces. Thank you.
I can do
What's your
more.
spell casting?
That's fine. It should go away shortly. No worries. Now that there's
That's how
just redness
scars
of
work.
skin. Sorry, I thought I saw some kobolds trading trinkets in the corner. I was delusional.
There was someone out there.
Holy shit, it probably. I think we need to kill it with fire.
Well, I'll go back to my praying if you don't mind. If you'd like to pray too, I could teach you some phrases. The Seldarine might not listen, but how would that be any different from what you do now?
Paladin, do it.
If I'm going to be praying, it will be to my god, and it will be through battle or
Cleridan.
fighting or something, a competition of some kind. I wish there was a fighting pin somewhere, but there's none.
You know, I've learned that sometimes the best way we can honor our deities is through different forms of prayer, like you said, battle and whatnot. Maybe Crom's tired of listening to that. But actually, that gives me an idea. Godric, what if
Seeing him get
searching-
excited, Godric kind of actually takes a step back in worry.
What if searching through your memories to find the answers has been the wrong way to go about it? We're looking internally when we should look externally. I've cast spells to find answers to legends long lost. There are divinations. I could simply ask for the answers that you've lost.
Of anything? Like, what do you mean? Because now, hang on.
Instead of digging into your head, I might be able to just divine the answers from someone else who was there, who saw it.
Can you divine any information?
Well, I mean, the Seldarine are not omniscient, but they have access to vast amounts of information that we don't.
What if it came to locating somebody?
Oh, I'm positive I could do that. What are you looking for?
My father.
Oh, you and Katarina both.
Eh.
What if you were brother and sister and didn't know?
You see Godric stop. No. No, it was less important. He left of his own volition.
Oh, well.
That's a really big word for Godric.
I realized that after I
Impressive.
said it. I was like, that's a big fucking word. That's a big word.
Studying with Locke.
That's a big fucking word for Mike, too.
Yeah.
We could. If you say it's not as high priority, we should definitely revisit that. But for now, perhaps we find out if you don't want anybody digging around inside your
No,
memories. and your
definitely
brain.
not. No more.
What if somebody can just look into the past without going inside your head?
The only reason I say maybe not is last time we tried this, apparently a god something intervened. Yes, a god, right? Is that what it? I think that's what she is. What is Hecate?
She's a god.
Apparently she's the one not wanting us to know.
Well, I'll take that into consideration then. I'll speak to the rest of the group about this. Perhaps we can figure something out. But
Yes, my
bit of inspiration. Thank you, Alatrari. I'd like to go back to praying now. I don't mean to be rude, but I was in the middle of one of my litanies, and I've got to start over.
enjoy that.
All right.
I'll go hit a tree and pray to my god.
Maybe not hit one in the garden, though.
I'll find I'll kick a peasant.
He meant pheasant.
It's just as bad, but whatever. All right.
By the way, I'm kidding. And
Well, good
that
day.
was a joke.
Okay. Goodbye.
Okay.
Please
Bye.
fuck off.
Thank you. I did appreciate this interaction. Bye.
Thank you for your time.
I go back to praying.
I get up and walk back inside.
Just awesome.
Hey, I got a greater health potion. Fucking sweet.
Greater health potion?
Fuck yeah, dude. From fucking an amazing fudge maker.
Greater.
I barely know her.
That's what I thought.
So, I'm gonna grab the stone and the light goes out and just wrap it back over my head, tuck it in the robes. I'm gonna go find Trin. Trin, where are you?
I'm in the living room with my feet kicked up.
He's in the
and
same
my
room
hat
you are.
pulled down.
Oh yeah, if I didn't leave, I just said I found a nice quiet place.
I mean,
Fair enough.
it's as quiet as
If
any
he's
other
just
room.
sitting there being quiet, then yeah, I didn't leave. So
I mean, you heard their entire conversation. They were in the same room as you.
yeah,
The only person who said they left anywhere was Oltheon.
fair enough.
Like,
Yeah, everyone heard my stuff.
So I walk up and stand over Trin.
I sense a presence.
You do? How did you do that?
You kind of make the floorboards creak because you're heavy. I'm surprised they haven't broken.
That's true.
you also clickety clackety.
I hear all
My
your
hands-
bits. Kind of weird.
What?
What?
Never mind.
What do you want?
We've never really spoken about our abilities together or shared anything about what we're capable of doing.
Oh, this is going to be like one of those in-depth conversations, isn't it?
I only have one question if you really don't feel like talking to me about it.
Oh, now I'm up. I had a busy day, Locke. I saved some people. I mailed a letter. I'm emotionally drained.
Oh, right. Perfect. I assume that while you were studying and learning to bard and magic,
Yes, bard.
That you were taught how to write magic into a scroll, or
What?
can you write scrolls? Can you turn your spells into something someone else could use?
No. That seems more like your department. Writing stuff down, books and all that.
You know, it's funny. That's true, and I certainly learn or remember my magic and use it in ways like other wizards. But do you know, while we were traveling, me and Godric, the two of us, I learned much of my knowledge of the weave from a bard. More,
I thought you sworn you said you like woke up
yes, I
with
didn't.
magic or something.
I didn't learn.
Are you remembering?
No. Let me explain. The magic comes to me in memories. Yes, that part is true.
Okay. Magic comes to you in memories.
I practice the magic in the same way as other wizards. That's all correct. But when I was first awakened, I didn't have the words for what I was doing. It was a lot of an instinct, a lot like a sorcerer does it. Just by the nature of how I came to be, as I am now.
Alright, I think I'm following along.
But I didn't have any way of explaining it. But while we were traveling, we came to a place. It was a small rat hole little tavern. But
That's a nice way to put it.
it was unpleasant. However, the woman that played at this place, she was very talented. An older human woman that I could just feel that she was magical. A lot the same way I can feel it from you when you're casting your magic. So she was
Thank
obviously, yes, it's a compliment.
you. Okay.
You're skilled. And I could see it on her too.
Yeah.
I was still recovering, but she was the most interesting thing in that place, and I took an interest. I asked her about it because I was still trying to bring back memories as much as I could. I was hoping she could bring something out. Anyhow, she helped me to learn more, contextualize the weave around me. I just had hoped that maybe you and her were alike. She taught me quite a bit.
What do you mean contextualize? Like gave you words or?
Yes, just a way of explaining the weave, how I see it now. I just hope I'm sorry, we're getting sidetracked. I really only needed to know if you could write spells into scrolls. If not, we could do this another time.
Well, no. Yeah. You woke me up. Now you have my interest. So we're going to talk less about the righty and more about the contextualizing.
Goblin is such a weird language.
I agree.
Long story short, I cannot write in scrolls. Well, I can write in them, but it doesn't do anything.
Do you understand the weave? Beyond just how you manipulate it for your spells and what your spells.
I've a rudimentary understanding. I've been around, so I've met a lot of interesting people, philosophized, talked, made friends.
Well, my understanding of the weave comes from how she explained it to me. It was nice, metaphorical, beautiful.
Was it something like
The weave are strands of magic that coat and cover and pass through everything, and you can manipulate it to vibrate like strings on your guitar. That's how bards pretty much that's how they do it, right?
Yeah, well, I have a word for it. I like to call it the resonance. Right? So, yeah, it's a lot like that. It's music and intention and spirit all have their own vibrations in the world. It's kind of like when you hear something truly special, like a real special piece of music that speaks to you as a person, and then it changes how you feel on the inside, like it's its own type of magic. Well, I call that the resonance, and that's one of the ways that we interact with the weave. It's actually kind of a beautiful thing, and then it responds back to us and how, like, our intentions and how we feel. It's a very organic. It's really actually a pretty hard thing to explain. I'm actually surprised that you're pretty stiff, Locke. So with and how so many other ways you struggle to relate. It's actually, I'm colorfully impressed that you were able that spoke to you.
It did, but it also left me a little uneasy at the time, and now even more so. I manipulate it in ways that are not so organic, like a bard or a sorcerer. And I'm wondering if have you ever seen it beyond just, have you ever looked or had a dream and seen the way the weave weaves through everything? Sometimes I think I can. It's like a shimmer over everything.
I've seen some things, but I hesitate to say this, Locke, but I'm a specimen of a goblin, right? And you're something really special in your very own way. So I don't know if you experience it the same way. You may even get a deeper insight than even I can get.
When I pull at the strings and I make the vibrations and I gather the bundles and pull them into the shapes that they need to be, it's very forceful.
Yeah.
I'm just curious because you don't seem to do it the same way, and after yesterday where I was unable to help, or in any meaningful way where it just would have caused more destruction, I was hoping we could trade knowledge. That's all. I want to learn how to affect the weave less violently. I feel like my entire nature is to destroy, whether I want to or not. And it's only after standing there, I can't use my powers to destroy on the dragon and make it worse. I can't use these powers to help because it would just destroy. It was a bad place to be. All this knowledge and skill and nothing to do with it. So I was hoping you could write your spells and I could see them in a different way. Because when I look at you, I'm just confused. I can't make sense of how you do it so delicate. I tear at the strands, I rip them where they need to be, and then I make something explode.
Well, I don't think I can just write it out for you like that. I'm not technically skilled. I'm technically skilled, but I'm no wizard. It's different. It's more of an art form. But maybe, given some time and some direction and some purpose, I could. Maybe you could learn by. Maybe you could learn by seeing, by experiencing. It's not something you're going to learn from some books or scrolls, and that's not really how bards pass these types of magics down. But maybe over time, and sometimes you can find new creative ways to approach things. You're obviously talented and you say you can see it. Maybe it's just going to take some practice. And maybe now that you've looked at it the way you have, that might inform how you approach it in the future. Maybe some experimentation in a safe environment. I can't tell you how many messes I made. But yeah, I'd be happy to try and show you, illustrate, maybe just some exposure therapy.
Okay. I would like that.
I really do wish it was as easy as writing it down for you.
So do I. Never is, though. And I find myself more and more compelled to broaden my knowledge beyond what I can simply remember.
That's a good thing.
I'd like to become a student, as it were, which I was never all that interested in before. It was only about what I wanted or what I could remember. So
Now, memories are things that have happened. You can make new ones.
sure.
Now, if you don't mind, I am really tired.
I'll still never understand that bit, though.
But goblin legs being shorter than everyone else?
No, sleeping seems desperately unnecessary. The elves don't do it much.
Yeah, well, much like you, they're a special kind of people, too. As I roll over, I go to sleep.
Okay. I will also head to the garden to crunch on the gravel out there, and then I'll just sit and do my sentry out there.
Okay.
Quietly.
Small smile
So,
in the corner of Othion's face.
So we wind down for the night. Everybody goes off to their personal quarters, and you find your own personal rooms, and everything is laid out for you to stay, and you're ready to spend this week to better yourselves or better prepare yourselves for the adventures just right around the corner. While praying, Oltheon, you hear an almost elated and upbeat, soft-spoken voice of your wife. His return. Oltheon, I'm so glad to hear from you. I know that you are safe and doing well, and I'm glad to hear that you've made friends who can help accompany you on your adventures. Wish you well, and Burrow.
What a good day.
And we're going to take a break.
Good job,
The
man.
course of the first few days sees Locke given all the instruction and teaching necessary in order to add the 2 spells that he's looking for to his spell book. You all listen to Trin incessantly practice some song over and over and over and over again to the point where you hate every note for small amounts of time. Oltheon spends time in contemplation and meditation, going
This is
through
how you
his
get good.
yeah, exactly. Going through the motions of his clerical duties. Spends time in town talking to people and getting to know the townsfolk and finding out they're actually not all that terrible now that he's saved them.
I like that one.
Katerina spends a lot of time actually alone. And working inwardly on herself, I guess. Let's see. Godric spends multiple days attempting to Well, you're not really sure what he's attempting to do because you've never seen him this still and this quiet on so many occasions, and it's a little strange. Your attempts are fairly innocuous.
Figured.
And frustrating. But all that week of downtime results in the receiving of an artifact, which will ring in the essence of a divination spell being cast on the party. And you end up with 1 ring of mind shielding to distribute as you see fit.
What is the artifact? What does it look like?
It's a bell.
It's a little bell.
Oh, pick a ding. Put him on trend so I know where he is at all times.
It's not like a collar. It's like a cat collar. It's like a cat bell. Sting. What? You're sneaky, man. He's saying you're sneaky and small and like hard to keep track of.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like goblins in the mold.
Well, he's not wrong.
Yeah, nothing else really interesting actually happens over the course of that week. So you're free to move on.
Did you guys go get my supplies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yes, I did. It's right here. Ah!
Thank you, Trin.
Pocket silver.
Did somebody give him coffee?
No, he's been singing his stupid song, and I think he finally has it because he shut up.
Yes, I do.
See?
I kind of like it.
The shutting up is great, I
No,
know.
the song.
You gotta practice to get good. You think this just happens?
Yes.
No, it doesn't just happen.
You exude whatever that is.
Sexuality,
Whatever that is.
energy, charisma. It's my highest stat.
Everyone at this table hates you.
Oh, but out there.
Somewhere out there.
Somewhere out there, the viewers adore me.
Yeah, that's
Their favorite goblin out of every single stream.
That was great. That was great.
I can't be mad.
That was good.
I want to be mad, but I can't. So
We're gonna, you know what? We're gonna paint your face green and
you some ears.
record you as a goblin singing, and we're gonna post it on our YouTube. I've
Post it.
decided.
Post it everywhere.
Gotta get you some Twin Twilight clothes. Start looking
Spiky pauldrons.
Ooh, classy. Spiky. Satin.
spiky sad.
And you need to grease your hair.
So
I
these
will
two
do
rings.
Wear a wig.
A ring.
One
Count
ring,
them
one
all.
bell.
The what's the alarm against crying? What is
A bell.
it? A bell?
Yeah, like a bell.
Oh. Where are we keeping these? And who is keeping them? I suppose it's the same question.
Well, please don't take this sensitively, but perhaps Godric should wear the ring, as he's the weakest link among us. Mentally, of course, you're quite strong.
You see God look at you, then just nod.
And we can just, I don't know, tie the bell to one of our backpacks or something. A belt, maybe? I don't know. A belt might get annoying.
Well, anywhere where it's going to move quite a bit. I mean, I want to inspect this little. It's like a little servant's bell.
Mhm.
Is there a? I forget what it's called.
No.
No, on the inside, it's just.
No, it mechanically doesn't work.
So
So anyone can have it.
So yeah, you can hang this from anywhere.
I think that Godric would look awfully dashing with a brand new earring.
It's like a bell.
The ring of mind shielding does require attunement, just be aware.
Oh, it's like a big bell? Not like
It's like a
bell?
little servant's bell. It's like a handbell.
Well, he's a Goliath! Look at him!
It still will look very silly.
Don't listen to him, Godric.
No, I'm not wearing a bell as an earring.
Don't you want to be the first to be alerted when a dragon is watching this, Godric? I'm just saying.
Rude
think about it.
gestures.
You know what? You know what? It's a lot to put on you.
Godric,
Sleep on it and see how you feel about it later.
that ring would protect people from messing around in your mind.
Not the ring, the bell. I'm
No.
taking the ring, I guess.
Well, it's exactly what you want. It will prevent anything from entering your mind.
It doesn't fit.
Hold it there for an hour. I know that's a little annoying. Just do it.
I wonder if your finger will get squished.
All right. Godfrey just sits there like this for an hour.
If attunement lasts longer than an hour, contact the doctor immediately.
Yeah, totally fit, but then I gained some winter weight.
Anyways.
Oh, can I get the DM inspiration? Because that was really good.
Can we just
That was
stop
good.
Yeah, fuck.
He doesn't need it.
He doesn't.
Inspiration.
You don't need inspiration.
I don't have any.
Good. It's gonna stay that way. Get used to it.
Nobody ever helps me.
All right.
Except for my,
I-
my deity.
I would like to spend my inspiration on whatever the heck he needs help with.
Oh, perfect, because I was about to cast some spells. I still have to do that scry.
Oh.
So the bell, it's like it'll ring an alarm if a scry is detected within a certain distance, or just on the person that's holding it.
Oh, on the party.
Okay.
Oh, because you could choose.
Well then, in the rope it goes.
Okay.
Keep reading. It's good.
There's a lot of things that conflict with this subject here as part of my character, so that's where I was confused.
No, it all works. You're fine.
Jewelry?
No, there's a single word in here that like my character as a whole has like 4 things that interact with
The
that
ring of
one
mind
word.
shielding has some extra aspects that are really neat.
That yeah, and I was just curious how like my things that interact with that word versus what the ring does. But we'll cross that bridge later.
We'll never cross it. You're fine. You will never die. So I had this wild idea.
Go on.
With the materials that they brought me, I'm going to, in the room with
Haha,
the
suckers! I cast a different spell.
Did you add the ring of mind shielding?
in the room with the crystal ball,
Mhm.
I'm going to spend an hour building a magic circle.
Okay.
And I'm going to make this circle so that anything inside the circle can go out, but nothing outside can go in. That's one of the options I have. Specifically, it would affect Celestials, Elementals, Fae, Fiends, and Undead.
Okay.
And then I'm going to scry from within that circle. Let's
Okay.
see if that helps against the evil magic of Midheaven. It's just a theory. And then, so once that's done, it takes an hour to do. I will go to the crystal ball and gonna focus on it for a minute and just. Oh, I need Bridget's hammer too, which I have. I'll pull Bridget's hammer out, set it next to the crystal ball. One hand on the hammer, one hand on the ball.
Aren't you supposed to keep your eye on the ball?
Just one.
Yeah. Make sure it doesn't go
Good thing
nowhere.
you use 2 hands.
And then I'm just going to focus on Bridget. So for the sake of the scry, she gets a... I don't know what to say, because I think it's a will save, wisdom save? Hear my old 3.5ism.
I was going to say will save.
will you please move on with the real rules for 5e?
Why doesn't it say what the save is?
Smashly! Hi, Smashly!
Smashly!
Hey!
Welcome back to the channel.
Welcome!
Our elf cleric is about to cast a scry spell on somebody they're looking for.
But I don't
and
know
he's
how
trying to figure out how to
it.
read spells.
Yeah.
Well, you start with the first
I know that
one.
the
Learn the
DC.
5e, noob. Come on, dude.
That's really aggressive.
Good,
I'm
good,
too
bro.
old school for this.
I'm so cool.
You must be the new guy.
It's fucking cool, dude.
Alright,
I just rolled triple 10s on my d20s.
Good shit. Wasting it out because your fucking shit hurts when I'm not looking.
A triple 10?
3 10s on.
Triple 10.
alright.
So it's your spellcasting
Throw 3d10
modifier
minus
-4.
It's only going to be minus
Did you
1.
go 320?
Is it?
Yes,
No.
because I have one of her possessions.
Yeah, that's -4.
Yeah, and knowing her name secondhand is a +5. So what
Oh,
I've
no,
just done is
roll damage
modified
on
the overall
D20s.
save DC as opposed to worrying about all that other stuff.
No.
Right.
What I can't figure out is whether it's a will save or what. Because it's literally not
Wisdom.
in the description. Wisdom save? Thank you. Alright, well then Bridget needs to make a wisdom save DC 14. Not counting
Ooh, she
whatever other
fails.
black magics and stuff. Oh. Well then, what do I see? As I peer into this crystal ball of scrying.
You see
Of scrying.
fog on the glass as you hear the trickling of water.
That's the DM's job. Stop before
Suddenly
you die.
you realize you're not looking into the crystal ball, you're looking out of it, and you're trapped.
Twisting.
That's why I hand her spell failure.
Very likely.
So,
Trin, the other day when we were talking about magic,
um,
you said you couldn't write arcane scrolls.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
Would you like to learn how to write arcane scrolls?
Hey, I've made that every time he asks me to learn that. I make the same noise.
We're gonna start your lessons again too.
Shit.
It almost feels like it's not special for right now. I got everything I know up here.
And when you die, we'll be lost and ashamed.
I know, and that's what makes it so much more precious, luck.
No. So, is this a no?
Well,
Sit down, we're learning.
I don't want to be
Come on.
a closed-minded.
Sit. I hand him a book. We're going to learn.
Oh,
It's very
okay.
demanding.
Homeschooling. Okay. Okay. Am I reading the book?
No, it's blank.
Yeah, but I
Music
thought maybe it
changing
was
all
magic word
creepy.
that made the words appear.
It's time now. I just buy an Andy some tea.
Oh. Don't like the little bells, man. That's fucking
so, as you cast the spell, the crystal ball begins to swirl with smoke on the inside of the glass. And slowly but surely, it kind of dissipates over time, over just a few seconds. And there seems to be a dark, tangled forest kind of stretching out with an eagle eye view over it, stretching out for miles across this land. And you kind of move across it at a very steady pace, which begins to pick up as you start to close in. You see a wide, long, old, well-traveled road impacted with ruts from many wagons or travelers and caravans that traveled that path. And then you hear the sounds of hoofbeats from multiple sources, a lot of them ramping up in speed. And then you hear the spinning of wheels, wagon wheels, and the crack of a whip, and the shaking of chains jingling, and the sounds of the bending and creaking of wood panels. Then you hear shrill shrieks and a howl of wolves moving through the wilderness. And then a large carriage kind of rides into view. Upon it, you see multiple individuals in armor, weapons, fighting swarms of bats and large winged creatures as they descend upon it. And you see Bridget on top, fighting and defending this carriage as it rocks and as it makes its way through the splashing through water along this old road, crashing its way through old undergrowth and vines. And then the wagon, as you kind of follow it and zoom in, getting closer and closer, and more clarity comes in. And it kind of follows the wagon as these creatures are attacking and they're slaughtering them. And it kind of ends at like a town, like a gate and a set of palisade walls with large defensive spike barriers, huge pikes protecting this small town. And you see as the creatures kind of disperse and fly off the road and dissipate. And then you notice that your magic ward activates. And there's a strange aura of dark magic that kind of leaks in the room. You realize that you're standing alone in this void. It's the chamber that you recognize that you started the spell. But the interior has grown dark and twisted. And you hear some sort of like footsteps on the outside. And you can just faintly make out the shape of somebody looking at you and observing you through the darkness as this kind of dark black magic is filling the room. And then there's like from a little bit of light being given off by the protective ward, you see this shape and outline of like a slender figure in like plate armor with these large, like spanning almost like bat-like wings coming off the top and spreading out. And you see another figure as well, a large, heavily armored figure standing much taller than the other slender one, wielding a great sword and weapon. And then you see deep red dots, like bright red dots in their eyes. And then the spell dissipates.
Like all of it? Back in the room again?
Yep.
Oh crap. Wipe the sweat from my brow. And leave the room. She's definitely in danger. But I think she's safe for now. We're going to Midheim for sure. And there's some kind of village. I don't know about well protected, but protected. Almost bleak, maybe constantly under siege. But I don't think we fully understand the power of the rulers of Midheim. And they might know that I'm coming now.
Shit. Wait, did you see them?
Yes.
Did they see you?
Undoubtedly.
What did they look like?
I shudder to describe them. Dark creatures, a slender woman with bat-like wings, armored, and a larger champion of some sort, both with these insidious red eyes, piercing. I've felt unease before, but they gave me the chills much more than Riven did. If not for that circle of protection I cast, I might not even be standing before you now. They were hunting. There was a sigil, though. It's like I can try to draw it, maybe. Not unlike a cross.
Draw it now. As I take my
We're in the
book
middle
that I've
of-
been
we
working
are in the
on,
middle-
and I bring it over to you with the lump of like little piece of coal that we were trying to. My hands all covered with
Perfect,
crap.
Trent.
Yeah. The sooner you draw it, the more accurate it's gonna be. You gotta do it while it's fresh on your mind.
Oh no. You're making me draw it? I'm using a pen, because you can't erase coal. Okay.
He's drawing a penis.
In
not
doing
penis.
that, I would like in
Divine
what I-
favor doesn't come with drawing
Artistic
skills.
talent.
what I said, I want to grant Ultheon bardic inspiration.
That's what I draw.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck his butt.
I'm more of a poet than a painter. Some type of cross-like object,
Are you sure?
wound in thorns or knots of some sort.
I have no idea what the fuck that is.
Go on, use your Arcana check.
The one you should have been learning.
Hold on, it takes a keen eye, but I might have just the right eyes for it. As I inspect it very carefully, do I recognize the symbology? It seems like it's definitely pulling from some gothic inspiration.
It's not
Now,
arcane.
I-
It looks like the symbol.
Hold on, I think that you're right. I think that's a symbol for treachery, maybe some sort of like
It looks like heraldry.
repentance. Yeah, I know, but I'm this part right here. It's the part. This part.
Yes, it looks like heraldry.
But what does it mean?
Trin. It means that's where we're supposed to go.
This
Numbers, Mason.
is a drawing on a paper, Locke. That is not a place.
Trin, I just don't believe you don't understand what that symbol.
What does it mean? That's why there's no one listening to me.
I want to do a history check to see if I recognize where this symbol is from.
And I would like to aid in that history
Okay.
check.
Yeah, make the check then.
With advantage, he tells me.
Oh my god, did I totally forget to write that down yesterday?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
No.
Roll the other
I
one.
did.
Roll the other one. That one's no good. Roll the other one.
Uh-oh.
This is why
I need to try harder.
you just need to not use a goddamn pooter.
It doesn't mess. It's 1 out of 20. It doesn't matter where you get it from.
I'm not the one that consistently rolls low. I'm just saying.
You roll
Yeah.
a lot more.
Mr. Reckless.
Yeah. So, can I find a way to get advantage on everything? Yeah, I think I will. I'm a barbarian. Of course I roll high. I am going to disintegrate you one day.
And guess
Going
what?
home and writing a fan
You're probably
fiction
going to get
tomorrow.
out of it, though, because you get advantage on dex checks.
You
Son
just
of a
gotta make
bitch.
sure he doesn't see it coming. All right, what'd you roll? Tell him.
I got
So
a
much
14.
hostility.
14.
I'll disintegrate him first.
Thanks.
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I thought you rolled lower with the comments. All right, 14 is.
I got a +9 to history. I mean, it's not like I'm.
Yeah, that's pretty low.
It's not great.
That's a 5.
Only a +5, but with the
Hey, he figured it out. 9.
So,
Everything's off.
Nice.
so you recognize the symbol, and you're pretty sure that you've seen it in some sort of obscure Brevashian. I'm trying to think of what that would be like. Obscure, like manual or tome on like Brevashian family lineages, like noble lineages. And you're pretty sure it matches the description of a family that was once or holds lands on the most northeastern territories of the vampire aristocracy now. The LaCroix family.
The LaCroix? LaCroix?
LaCroix. And you think the last surviving lineage of that family was Amelia and Michael. So based on that, it's more than likely that his divination was in an area close to or in an area that they control.
I do recognize this symbol. There is a very old family in Barbados, the far northeast. LaCroix? I can't remember precisely, but they have 2 living heirs, I think. Amelia and Michael.
Living might be an incorrect phrase.
Well, this this family, wherever they rule, it's mostly the northeast. That seems likely where we're going to find Bridget.
On the bright side, if they're nobles like Locke's saying, much more likely people have heard of them. We might be able to dig up way more information than if they were just some, I don't know, town drunks or something.
Information on
This is
vampires isn't going to be as easy to dig up as you'd think. If they're the last known members of the family, they could still be hundreds of years old, if not older.
Hold on. I thought the symbology was for the town, not necessarily monsters.
the family, their heraldry, their signet. You've heard of these things.
Well, I know what a signet. But I mean, I thought, where did you see that on exactly?
On the hunters, the 2 watching me.
Oh shit! Woo!
But now perhaps we know more about them than they know about us.
It's true, we may have their names, and they only know possibly your likeness, but who knows what your spell prevented. Although, you set the spell to keep it in rather than out, right?
No, I set the spell so nothing outside could get in. Which may be the only reason I'm still here. I don't know how their magics work, if they could have transported me, or maybe attacked me magically. It was incredibly unnerving. I'm still feeling a little shaken, actually. Maybe just stirred.
The reason I know anything about them is because of the history of battles there. I had been studying them pretty extensively, trying to find evidence of Warforged at other battles, but this was unrelated mostly, just something I remember from my time. Their lands are unpleasant, bordering on Midheim, mostly moors and forest, wet, damp, cold, misty places. And they're constantly skirmishing with Midheim, incurring on their land and stealing people away. But obviously we never went there. Besides a long history of battle, there wasn't much for me to seek out.
What I know of Midheim is much more ancient. I know that they were originally part of Bravadus. Still technically are in some ways, but some curse or something happened, and now it's ruled by its own set of electrocounts, more or less. Not that they're allied, but none of them would be hospitable for us. It's going to be a very dangerous place.
I'm not worried about it as I pat Godric on the calf.
That part of will doubtless come across a whole lot of Inquisition forces in that direction, trying to stave off the corruptions.
Well, perhaps it's time to gather the wagon and horses, whatever we plan on doing. Now that I think about it, some of my information is outdated, though. Might not be called Midheim. Is it Strausland? Does that sound correct? I'll check my books.
Well, we're going through Midheim to get there. I assumed that was the way you were speaking.
So, you made a joke that they were vampires, or that?
Yes, it was a joke, absolutely.
No.
You said that there was vampires there.
Yes.
You know about vampires, Godric?
Enough to know to avoid them.
Yeah, they're not smashable. I don't know if you'd be...
That was the next question. How do you kill one?
I can look into the legends. There's always rumors, silver, garlic, but who knows what actually works or doesn't.
Does smashing their head in work?
Temporarily.
Temporarily.
How do we make it more permanent?
Magic.
You know, why don't we find one and ask it?
I'd choose to avoid, if possible.
We're
I don't
probably
think
not
that
going
will
to
be
get the
possible.
chance.
Hopefully we can find Bridget and move on before any trouble comes our
Well,
way.
I've known... The problem is, and you probably haven't picked up on this yet, humans, they're such short-lived creatures that you go to them and say you need help from them, and inevitably they say, no, help me first. So we're going to have to deal with whatever problem she's dealing with, I'm sure.
Should be easy.
And knowing our luck, I'm pretty sure we're going to totally get fucked over somewhere or somehow.
Speak for yourself, I have amazing luck.
Not anymore.
In fact, you could say that my luck is legendary.
Not anymore.
He did the thing.
He
did the thing from
He
the
did the thing. He did the thing from the thing. He did do that.
Yeah.
All right, he won. We're campaign over.
I win D&D!
Yeah.
Yay!
Oh, man. Well, to the horses, wagons. Do we still need to get some? I've been kind of busy studying.
I went through the town and managed after everything that's happened, managed to convince some of the locals to give us some of their horses and stuff. It's supposed to be staged.
Give horses? Aren't they practically worth their weight in gold in these parts?
Practically, but that could be really compelling.
Alright. If I find out you stole them,
Or they gave us their oldest, barely able to work the fields anymore.
Got it.
did we find a wagon?
Locke, have never heard "Don't look a gift horse in the mouth"?
I have heard that expression, but it confuses me.
Well, stop.
I've never.
Just be happy. You have horses.
Neither have I.
You have horses.
Do we have a wagon?
You do something for these guys.
The saying I know most is those come bearing gifts of horses are often from dark forces.
That is an interesting one. That probably is true.
Probably.
Well, anyway, we got some horses. When I was talking to some of the locals, given the state of things, they were a little hesitant on the whole wagon thing. Maybe they've changed their mind. We can stop in and see.
We should definitely try. Be better than carrying all of our gear.
So I bought extra rations and stuff for the journey. Do we need anything else before we leave?
A song to lift our spirits.
No.
I have a little bit of a different song. When I was talking to some of the locals, that they're having, they lost some folks when the dragon attacked, so they're having a little bit of a funeral. So I promised I would do something special.
So you'd have a sad song. Perfect.
It's
that
not
would make me feel
sad.
quite better.
It's kind of sad, but it's not totally sad. You act like you haven't been hearing it for the past week.
No, that one. I was hoping for something new. We should write a song together. I practice poetry back home.
Really? Now you have my attention. I think we just figured out what we were going to be doing on this long-ass trip.
Yes. We'll write a song.
And then I can write it down in a book.
I don't. The lessons aren't on writing. Your handwriting is pretty fantastic, actually.
Oh, thank you. I'm a jack of all trades.
But master of none.
But your
But better than some.
arcane is
Not by a lot.
abysmal.
Push your luck.
Now you're supposed to be a supportive teacher.
Supportive, but also honest, and your arcane writing is abysmal.
You're honest and cuts deep.
So what I'm getting from this conversation is you're ready to leave Greencrest?
Yes.
That you've gathered all the material components you need for spells and done all your shopping. Is there anything left that you need to get?
Perhaps we should loudly tell the town that we're headed towards Emrath.
I will. I'll
Bell
attempt to
hasn't-
find Fane.
the bell
real
hasn't
quick before we
gone.
leave.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's there, yeah.
Yeah, I
It's not hard enough to find. After spending a week inside his manor, it's not hard to track him down.
Yeah.
He lives there. Godric, yes.
Question. I pull out the dwarven thrower. Do you know?
We're back to this again?
Fine. Nah.
I told you, Godric. You can throw it anytime you want. It just won't come back.
I want to throw it at him.
Punch a hole through the wall.
Never mind. I was just checking in, and my hopes were up is all. Never mind.
No. I'm not familiar with dwarven runesmithing. It would take me some time and study to learn the proper enchantments and how to properly break it down, or else it could be something terrible could happen, or I could remove all. It's not a craft I'm familiar with.
And then I will wait and find a goddamn dwarf.
You probably need more likely find the dwarven runesmith. You can't just find any dwarf. They're not all runesmiths. I would suggest that you travel to an actual citadel and find somebody who knows what they're doing.
All right.
If you're already traveling towards Midheim, you go beyond it towards the King's Triumph Mountains and look for Karak Ingra, the home of the Slayer Dwarfs. It's where its home is at anyways.
Out of character, aren't they like dealing with something that we could help them with? Like because we got a bunch of stuff from the fuck soy salsa. I hate you because I was looking to think of soyasa.
I don't remember her message mentioning anything about
Karakingra. It's like the third time I've heard the name so I just want to double check if anyone else had extra notes on it or anything. All right,
Dag was from Karakinga.
that might have been it because I know
And he was a Slayer Dwarf on his
Oh
mission.
yeah,
Dig.
yeah.
Good old Dig.
Berserker
Dag,
Works.
Berserker Works, shout out. Play Dag on our show for a little while. You're awesome, man. Love you. Someone should clip this and send it to you.
Yeah,
We'll do it.
All right. Well, thank you again. I just was curious. I'm just gonna turn and walk back.
Okay. So you guys gather all your components, everything together, wagon and horses. Everything's purchased and ready to go.
Sweet.
So,
Excellent.
ready to leave?
We leave.
Let's do it.
So, simply because you all did such wonderful things for the town, a lot of the populace actually comes out to see you off, including Thane, Ivana, and many of the individuals that you guys saved and healed, as well as a lot of the townsfolk that Trin has spent time getting to know. They were actually fairly, over all that time, you feel like you did a lot of good for goblins and in their townsfolk's perceptions of your kind. And you really got to know the roots of why and how that relationship is as strained as it is with the cave-dwelling goblins in the Greyspire Mountains and the long history they have of constantly being attacked and raided and those tensions being that way.
Their village getting burned down.
Yeah. And ever since the Heroes of the Vale came through, though, goblin attacks have been happening a lot less often. They've been decreasing just more and more over the months, and so the town has kind of eased on that perception of your kind, especially with the way that you are.
Let's hope for the future.
Yeah. So
On the way out of town, I lock eye contact with Vana.
she just and Thane just puts his hand on her shoulder and just shakes his head, and he starts talking to her. All right.
South.
Possible
Towards Breath-
character arc for Golpion. Less racism.
They're the same race.
They were both high elves.
Less
They're just evil high
classism.
elves.
They're Highlands with a pen.
I'm a little alignmentist. Sorry.
I kind of hold up the purpose. I did promise I would perform at the ceremony. It should be happening soon.
Oh,
For the
I actually wouldn't mind seeing a human funeral. How long is this going to last? A couple days?
well, the grieving, it's going to be different for each person. It depends, but
I meant the actual ceremony.
What is with elves and like day-long ceremonies?
We tend to avoid short ceremonies, actually.
yeah. We don't have to stay for the whole thing. But I said I would do this, and I'm a goblin of my word.
I'll back you up.
Well, I don't need any backup singers. But when we get that song going.
Oh, I saw you behind the world.
I'm the hype man.
Is everybody here?
For
ready?
Twilight Dawn!
Yep.
He's the Goblin Man.
Go Goblin, it's your birthday.
Birthday.
Go Goblin, go Goblin, go.
Go Goblin, go Goblin, go.
You ain't got to wait for me to
I'm
start
waiting for
performing.
you.
Yeah.
So a little bit of the morning goes by, and as they all gather to mourn the loss of their friends, family members, someone's mother, someone's daughter, kind of thing. There's a local priest that's giving a little bit of a sermon. Trin walks up to the front, having previously coordinated this and making the promise that the priest recognizes him and kind of gives the floor after saying some very kind words. And Trin walks up and stands up in front of everybody. By Parathor's light we lay thee down, to lay and rest in peace. We weep for those left behind, your memory still we keep.
I cast light on him.
Too soon you left your kin in grief. We carry on truly the precious love we had still here. We carry within thee. And do my little song. And, give everyone a few moments and then make a tasteful exit.
I dispel my light.
Do you dispel your light? Yeah. They're clapping, but there's less applause because it's a really sad moment.
Yeah.
So,
So I was like, they're just like,
I just want like that one person in the front that's like a little teary-eyed. So,
yeah.
He does this.
Yeah.
Well, good job. You did it.
Nicely
Yeah.
done.
Right on. Nicely done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a good
So
sad face.
you guys spend the last bit of the evening or the day consoling the individuals who lost people in Riven's attack on that part of town, and you go back to things to get ready to leave in the morning.
Thank you for everything you've helped us with over the last week.
I do what I can for those who need my help.
We will repay this debt as best we can.
See that you do.
We'll start by stopping in dragon invasion. We'll see how it goes after that.
It's a tall order.
We'll give it a try.
I have faith we'll succeed.
Well, you've been busy over this last week with preparing for the scrying and meditations and all that. But Trent's lessons aren't going well. So, I want to pose the question to you. I think I may have hinted at it before, since you're married to a wizard. Did she ever taught you how to inscribe spells? I know that you don't really manipulate the weave yourself. It's more of a ask and be given sort of situation, but
My beloved and I have taught each other many things, but neither of us have ever taught each other how to do our jobs. I know some rudimentary skills when it comes to creating or activating scrolls, but I don't see how they'd help you at all. They're still largely based on my connection to the Seldarine.
it's just a pooling of knowledge, I think. I can't rely on the things that I simply remember anymore. I need to take a more active role in what I understand. I tried it once, but it nearly got us killed, so after that I've just been helping him go along, and now that we're caught up in all this, it's time to pick up where I left off.
You know, and I don't mean to take a jab at you, but you're spending so much time trying to teach Tren some of your skill, or Godric some of your skill, but I don't see you picking up a sword or performing. Perhaps there needs to be a trade-off.
You're not wrong. Godric's style never suited me, but we have more companions now.
Perhaps maybe just more practice with the dagger. Vampires do like to get in close, though.
I have
We
a
might
dagger.
be protected from that.
I have a dagger. It's always on me. So that's when you don't see it because it's in the sleeve, but they open up like a sliding doors and then just out comes the,
Robocop's lay.
yeah, sort of. Pretty much exactly like that, actually, now that you're saying it. That's a good, yeah. And the dagger comes out.
Well, spend some time practicing with that. You said that all your spells are built for destruction. Well, maybe the rest of you should be too. You are warforged, after all.
Yeah, I suppose it's true. It's not a bad idea. Give and take. We have a long road ahead of us. And I don't sleep, neither do you. You seem to have some skill.
I know my way around somewhat. I might be able to teach you more than Godric. I rely on technical skill, whereas he seems to just be stronger than anything else he's come across.
Which I can't change, that I'm not as strong as him.
Exactly.
I do more than just strength.
And even if I had muscles, I can't make...
For once I forgot you were there. You were so quiet. Well done. Proud of you.
Ship.
All right. I'm going to start passing on my knowledge. I'd like to receive some in return, so we can spend our nights fighting and sparring, I suppose.
Sure. Do some reading as well. I have some fascinating books.
I'd like that.
I know Tren has a fascinating book too. I just can't read Goblin. The pictures are quite nice though. It's like a child drew them.
Once again, thank you. We'll probably leave in the morning.
All right.
Well, off to bed, little ones. Shoo.
All right. So one last pleasant night's rest inside Thane's Manor, and you all wake up in the morning, gather your belongings, and head south towards Breathorp. So Greencrest disappears behind you.
Oh, I feel better already.
It takes a few days to travel to Breathorp, but once you're there, you kind of get the feel of the city and take stock and take note of the different groups and how much travel takes on the road, inquiring as to how the roads are, how safe have they been, recent bandit attacks, or how Bravadus has been handling its borders since hostilities with the Goblin Kingdoms in the King's Triumph Mountains. And
Is there a Giant Strides post here?
no, there isn't.
Oh well.
There's a giant strides post wherever you want a giant strides post, my friend. Look.
Why are
You
you doing
know,
that?
when he says it without the dwarven veneer, it's off-putting.
I'm an apt.
Either way, there's an opportunity to decide how you want basically to do the rest of the travel. Either basically on your own with your wagon and your carts, or you guys can join a trade caravan going into Bravadus from the Central Vale.
Hire out. Let's get some money on the trip.
See if they need some.
Depending on the choice we
Some
make here,
caravan guards.
we're currently splitting into two separate timelines. In one of them, we may die. I'm just saying, this is a critical decision. Think.
Well, let's start by seeing if we get paid for the other one.
Well, paid or not, let's travel with people.
Sometimes
Yeah,
you'll be
well,
paid in goodwill.
Unless it's faster to travel by ourselves.
If they're looking for a party of 6 and find a party of 30, it might be beneficial.
We would be faster on our own, but only like a day or two.
That's
Yeah,
a
a
lot
lot
of
more.
time.
And with other people, resources, skills, experience,
Time to rest.
Maybe
friends.
some idiot will arm wrestle you?
How long's it been since we traveled like this? Since we left Emrath the second time.
That sounds about right.
You can never convince me it wasn't some of the funnest times of your life. Every night was
There was a week's worth of time. I don't remember what happened.
exactly. You love that.
I saw all of it.
I remember it.
I don't.
Oh, I know.
So the consensus is we travel by caravan.
Yes.
Consensus!
Yeah.
Consensus.
Woe for the fortunes of that other sad timeline.
It's
The
dead. now.
timeline without us.
It's dead now. Just pull the knife out. And
Yeah,
move
but
on
what
with
if you
your
chose
day.
the one where you all die?
Oh, that can't be possible.
Impossible.
Yeah.
We're level 10. I'm a wizard. I'll get out.
I don't know what these levels are, but I have faith
That's okay. They
in
died
my friends.
because I'm gonna kill them.
Oh, we're gonna kill this
We
shit.
are
out of this.
halfway. We're the halfway most powerful people on the planet.
Well, I would
If
say
you
that.
add us
I mean,
together-
completely out of context.
I'd say
no.
that.
If you add us together, we are 2 most powerful people on the planet. Yeah, 2.5, because
I mean,
Matt's on 2 people.
We may never
Godric's-
know what class and
God,
level
wow.
Burrup is, but
Oh yeah, Burbs.
he adds. He
Burrup
adds.
exists.
Did you even go get Burr?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
I was just thinking.
Hand wave.
Look,
Oh.
companion NPCs get forgotten. It's just
You
what
thought me staring down Vana was weird. You should have seen him do it.
Oh.
I feel like he wasn't even looking at her.
Him and Misha, both of them just.
Yeah, man, the fox.
I see him just look around at the fox.
You
Anyway,
seen a fox glare at someone? It's terrifying.
caravan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you manage to basically attach yourselves or ingratiate yourselves into one of the wagon master's good graces over a night of drinking, and he decides that you can join them. More or less seeing all the benefit on his end of adding seasoned adventurers and protectors to the caravan.
Because we didn't tell him we're being hunted.
All the while, you guys pick up on some really juicy gossip and rumors in Breathorpe, as Breathorpe is kind of
That's my right hand.
kind of a middle ground between trade up from the Madrin Commonwealth to the Lynchstadt Confederacy up to Bravadis. It's not the biggest city on the way, but it is a popular trade stop for people moving along that path. You hear a few different things of some interest that let's see. You hear some stuff from all over. You hear about apparently this really interesting and really popular bard has been making his way through the Madrin Commonwealth. Said to have like this like ghost white hair and like hauntingly eerie or alluring melodies. You also hear about like marauding groups of like armed cultists and heavily armed dragonborn like raiding small towns in a lot of the surrounding regions, like a lot of the less populated regions in Madrin, Lynchstadt, Lior. Basically, the population has been extremely riled up everywhere where there are dragon reasonableness based on how the Queen handled what she did in Lior. There's more or less just an armed insurrection now happening, like all through most of the
Proof that they
Mid
needed to be
Kingdoms.
scoured.
I wasn't there to help.
Scoured. Nice word.
Mm-hmm. Excised.
Nice.
Paraded.
Exhumed.
You also
some
hear
cultist activity?
that there is a crazy amount of tension in Midheim at the moment with the current ruler or the current count. Been a lot of contention with Reichland and his place in the line of succession. So it's looking like while fighting the hobgoblins, the Red Hand mercenaries, and the Goblin Kingdoms, that it looks like they may be looking at a small civil war, as he's kind of threatened to just leave Bravadis as a whole if his demands aren't met.
That's a juicy rumor.
Juicy.
Juicy. That comes out of my mouth, the Juicy. That pops.
Yeah.
Yeah. You hear about oh, never mind. That's for something else. Yeah. So those are all the ones you hear.
Ooh. And one we didn't hear. Ooh.
Mhm.
Juicy.
I don't understand this concept of rumors and gossip. Is this how humanity gets most of their information?
Now I think you're pulling our leg.
Only the most important information.
Oh no, I was right. So the apparently the toxicity levels in the Black Swamp and Heral have been rising.
Oh.
Well, Don, it's not the most reliable stuff, but not everything that goes on can just be, released by the town crier. Every other term, don't shoot the messenger. Some people don't like their business being spread about, so that's why I have to go through other channels, like juicy rumors. And I told a friend.
I understand the need for intel and counter intel, but the idea that, let's put it this way, if two elves started spreading rumors about each other, that would go on for hundreds of years. Our grudges, our family feuds can last a very long time, so we try to avoid those. We make sure that the information we put forth is as accurate as possible.
Well, sometimes, from less reputable sorts, skewing the public's perception on someone, say an enemy, even if the information ain't all that accurate, can be really beneficial, which some folks just don't care about when they hate the other person's fucking guts. In
Sounds
fact,
like base
feuds
politics.
lasting for generations is not necessarily totally frowned upon. It just depends on what side you're on and what your opinion of the feud is. The only bad part about a feud lasting that long is you haven't killed off the other group. I'm just talking from just a perspective of the people that engage in such illicit activities.
Lies and deceptions are an important part of ruling a country.
The
They
Dark
can
Elves would
be.
agree with you. I do not.
sometimes,
But perhaps
sometimes in leadership, and not just leadership, interpersonal relationships, sometimes you bite your lip. Sometimes you have a confidant, and then that leaks out. And when it's about important people, sometimes that spreads a little farther than it should. Some people trust their own people to be their confidants in the first place.
perhaps leaders are required to lie, but that's not something. Let's just say I'm not cut out for leadership. It's not my role.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. When you get into the intricacies of all this nonsense, there's good lies and then there's bad lies. There's lies that are self-interested and lies that relieve the burden of knowledge.
Well, that I understand. I'm not completely blind to the course of deception. I just simply mean as a form of passing the time, like rumors.
Well, yeah. Another part of it is just the lack of being in the know. We like information.
And that's another thing. Humans have such short-lived lives. Why are they always trying to pass the time? They should be embracing it and maximizing it. I could only imagine the amount of anxiety I'd have if I only had a fraction of time to get everything done I needed to.
It's all a matter of perspective, man.
Probably why they have so many children, to complete their dreams that they never managed to.
Well, you hope for a better life, I suppose, but it's all a matter of perspective. As a creature that lived longer than you, they might be surprised you waste so much of your time.
None of our time is wasted.
Oh, also based on the amount of experience that people have traveling this direction, you're able basically able to narrow down the kind of region based on the descriptions that you gave from what you saw based on the information that you have.
Oh, really?
You get information that the region that you're looking for in Midheim is more than likely a grouping of small towns and villages, Brayfield, Corinne, and Foris, near the Nightshade Forest in Midheim, which is basically the borderland before you step into vampire corruption in Strassland.
Brayfield,
Corinne, and Foris.
Forest.
You're more or less, they explain to you that the Nightshade Forest and the vampiric corruption kind of stretches the breadth of the border that separates Anheld, Midheim, and Strassland.
Okay.
The only way that people can travel safely through those lands is through armored wagons that are normally protected.
That is what I saw in the scrying attempt.
What was the name of the forest?
The Nightshade Forest.
Sounds like a lot of tomatoes.
Yep.
Sounds like it'd be a great break from the sun.
Yeah, so the three small towns are isolated to that small region and they kind of act as a waypoint between Midheim and Woltengoff in Aneld, which is the neighboring city-state.
Good. And what should we be looking for as far as threats on this road?
Well, so pretty much what you all learn kind of independently bringing all this information together is that the roads have been pretty clear when it comes to them stamping out like all the general threats that you might run into, like brigands and ambushes like that from like goblins or most of the normal issues. Once you get into that close to the vampiric corruption, it's basically nothing is off the table when it comes to like the amount of evil and undead creatures that kind of wander that land. That area, those towns are they're under constant siege. Ghouls, gas, and vampire spawn, and people being kidnapped or assailed by like just zombies and skeletons, and the mass graves that make up the large battlefields that used to happen there. Just a constant stream of like undead and issues for the people who live around there. They get most of their supplies just through these shipments, through these armored wagons. So they're more like fortresses than they are towns at this point.
Well, this seems like we know what to do then. We get as
But
close as we can and hire out with one of the armored wagons.
the most important thing that you figure out is that since Bravatus has been mobilizing its armies and moving in to fight the goblins invading Teutoburg and moving down to northern Aneld and across threatening major trade routes into Reichland itself, it seems as though the vampire aristocracy has decided to take this opportunity to move in on a lot of these smaller towns and is claiming new lordship over those 3 territories, those areas. And that the miasma of black magic and evil that makes up the vampire corruption has been spreading out from those lands into areas that they've never been before.
Oh, this is going to be great.
Gonna kill us. I'm not gonna wait.
You also hear a very particularly interesting rumor, which stands out to you, of a massive lycanthrope that has been in the area, working with the vampires and assailing the roads.
Does it say?
They've given him a very basic nickname of just Uberwolf.
But wolf, I believe that's Bravashan.
Oh dear.
Well, it seems that there's quite a bit of shit going on.
Well,
You know what we should do is I've noticed you carry quite a bit of extra adamantine weapons. Maybe we sell those off and pick up some silver?
can't hurt.
Well, I don't care, man. So we can make some deals happen.
But we're passing through several towns. Breatharp is a reasonably sized, almost a city, even.
I've also noticed, I'm looking at my map of Bravatus, and well, it's more than a few hundred years old, and I've gotten the boundaries all wrong. Then again, the last we heard of Straussland, it was still part of the Empire. Sort of. It's an old map. Perhaps I should get a new one.
It's probably time. Luckily, Caravaneers know where the best map makers are.
That's true.
Yeah. Aren't you glad we came with the caravan? We got all this information we wouldn't have had otherwise.
I agree.
See, he's warming up.
I already said that it was fine. I was just saying it might be worth us going faster.
I don't think so.
No, similar down recently. I'm just trying to perk you up, buddy.
Did you try to pinch me?
Yeah.
Okay. Got you laugh slightly. Let me pat you on the back.
Oh,
I appreciate it, Trin.
I'm always there for you, buddy. Anyway. It's a long journey. How about that song? Do you have any ideas? Do you have any stuff you wrote already you want to turn into?
Well, we might need to write something new. Everything I know is incredibly depressing.
Oh. Alright. Yeah, you got some happy feelings in there we can unlock?
Well, no.
Think of something happy, doesn't... What about thinking about your wife? Doesn't that make you happy?
No, happy would be an understatement. She has been my love for so long, she makes my heart sore.
Well, there you go. People love that stuff. Because when you share it in song, it makes them feel it.
Yes, I'm sure many of the people around here would be able to relate to being with the same woman for hundreds of years and being incredibly happy about it.
Just take the 100 years and shrink it down.
Yes, make it meaningless, fleeting. I see.
Or all that much more precious, because it is so fleeting.
I don't understand.
A lot of people would wish for that type of relationship. And if you Write a song about it and share it with them. Maybe they can feel what it's like.
Maybe we can write a song about. I have it. Yeah. There's an ancient story about the High Elves eventually finding the one who will reunify the elves and bring about our complete vengeance, thereby granting our immortality back that was taken from us. Maybe as a story of violence and revenge.
That's much less beautiful.
I think it's very beautiful.
I don't know. I might like it.
I think I like it.
I think you're going to need a particular audience for that one. We can work on it.
Could try and sing about something funny. One time I misplaced my favorite shoe for 230 years. And then I found it one day.
Had you gotten rid of the other?
Well, of course. Therein lies the comedy.
That is funny.
Where was it?
What was the one I
Right where you
got rid
left
of?
it.
The other one?
Yes.
Oh, no. Burrup had it in his pack. He had collected it because he meant to, have shoes on him in case I ever needed it, but he only took the one. He does that sometimes.
That just
So-
raised a whole lot more
So
questions.
the shoe was in there for 230 years.
No, that's where I found it eventually. Burrup isn't that old, silly. Where did I misplace it before Burrup had it? I don't know. It was misplaced.
Maybe that's why you learned all this divining stuff.
That's it, exactly. I felt a calling from the god of blood, vengeance, and justice because I couldn't find my shoe. I like that.
It's the first step.
That should be the song.
The first
My
step.
journey down blood,
The first
vengeance,
step
and
was
justice
there.
because I lost my shoe.
It's a great work.
Needs some work. I'm a master at my craft. We'll get something real cool. Knock the socks off people.
So, as you all gather to get the caravan and leave early in the morning, just before noon, you do some last minute shopping, some last minute perusing through nearby markets, general goods stores, and Trin, you actually, when you go into you're kind of going through this like general goods stand, and this merchant's trying to peddle you a bunch of like just random useless stuff. You find this really interesting, like singular, like the edges are burnt, it's worn out, it's definitely been weathered and it's seen way better days, but it's a heavy leather bound portfolio of some sort, and you can kind of barely make out the cover, and it says something like Bard's Tale, authored by Thalen.
I pick it up and I kind of like brush it off, get the remaining dust off of it, and start kind of like trying to flip through it and read it a little bit.
It's an interesting tale. But the most interesting part to you is that you remember that etched into the names of the heroes of the Vale, that name matches one on the statue. And having passed it dozens of times while staying in Greencrest, it kind of stands out to you. And it has a chapter dedicated to like time spent in that town. And you kind of put that together that this has to be either authored by the same person or on behalf of this individual. But there's a foreword that kind of saddens you because it says that it was published posthumously on his behalf. And then underneath there at the bottom, it says, "Best regards, Casey Hartfield."
I can't let this just fall into anybody's hands. I gotta retain it. Right? I look for. Is shopkeeper still there?
No one here
Hmm?
knows him.
No.
Yeah, he's kind of an older man. He kind of looks to you and goes, "Oh, I picked that up at some scrap sale when I was traveling through Harral."
Oh well, it's good to hear that you're not really all that attached to it. I'll give you one hell of a deal. Like, look at its condition. 2 silver?
He kind of looks at you. Why not? Well, 2 silver is fine.
Thank you so much. Add this one to the collection of old ratty books. You know, as goblins, we have strange flights of fancy. As I take the book and I carefully and with love tuck it in my back. You've been lucky.
Yeah, so you take the book, pack it in, and you kind of turn around. The vendor's not there anymore, though. So you see the stand and all the other junk, but the man who sold you the book is no longer there.
I climb up over the stand and I look down. Do you like duck?
There.
I'm gonna stand up on the stand.
No. But you do sense for just a moment that there's something, some sort of spell has been cast very recently in the area.
Weird. Do I get any like impression of its hype or feel of the magic in any way?
Not sure. There's just kind of remnants of what looks like a spell has been cast there. It's strange because normally the kind of remnants or traces of magic that are only kind of left like that. I mean, you've only read stories about fey creatures having that power. Until next Friday.
Oh!